Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is your AEW Rampage review for October 29, 2021. Joined by Abby Maniac here. What did you think about this Rampage show?
Uh, I thought that this was a pretty watchable show, a good show, you know, good wrestling. But you can say that there was nothing, uh, spectacular, except the first match between Bryan and Kingston. Other than that, there was probably not anything, huge that you know we would be you can say talking about for you know months or uh, probably distant future.
By the way, there was the crowd sweetening for this show was a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I
Like,
also read reports.
is it because the Boston crowd was that much fatigued or something?
Possibly possibly and it is also you know someone wrote that there was a big gap between the Dynamite and Rampage tapings, which is uh, unlike most tapings. That could also be the case, and also long tapings, weekday, and also you can say the other two matches, after the Eliminator semifinal. There you could say there isn't much of an can say investment of the can say storytelling, or investment of the crowd or something like that. So the it was you can say possible. People can walk away if it is getting late or something like that. There wasn't a match which uh, you would probably want to stick around it for such with a huge implication sort of stuff. No,
But
and that has been a problem with Rampage.
yeah, but seeing this show, you kind of got an idea why the crowd walked away at that
Hmm.
particular moment.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah, we'll get
For
in.
yes, please.
Yeah, we'll really go into that. When you get to that certain part. But before we get into the actual review, if you are new to Slam of Wrestling, then make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Check out our other content. Like we did a review for Dynamite, and also made sure to cover the current situation with Ring of Honor. Is it going out of business? Is there a chance they make a comeback? So we tried our best to give little in depth into that whole story. So check that out as well. But speaking about other promotions, Abby, did you hear the current situation with Impact Wrestling and their partnership with All Elite Wrestling? I think as of now, that partnership is done post Bound for Glory.
Hmm. Yes, I uh, read about it, but I have not seen any in-depth coverage on that. Uh,
So what happened was like this. I don't know. I am actually forgetting what source or who reported the story, but the thing is that they said that the partnership will end after Bound for Glory pay-per-view will be wrapped up. So this is the same pay-per-view where Christian Cage who currently is a AEW talent, dropped the Impact Championship on that pay-per-view. So that was one of the indications. But overall, how long has it been since they have been doing this cross promotion deal? Like they started this year alone, January,
I guess it started with uh, when Winter is Coming happened.
and
Uh, yes,
and yeah, like actually started at Winter is Coming. That was in December, and it was with Kenny Omega, and they started building this belt collector thing, which he eventually achieved. He became the Impact World Champion, was on Impact Television for a while. Was he did turn out to be a draw for that company in some capacity.
yes, you can say that.
But other than that, what actually came out of this partnership in this, you could say, year long thing they did?
Mm, but you can say that it can say somewhat of in the initial stage it was compelling programming, as you said, cross promotions. Can you make a was appearing on both the promotions, shows, pay-per-views, and Impact Plus pay-per-views as well. And you know was there and he dropped the belt to Christian Cage. But at the end of the day, there must and we also saw the situation what happened with Don Callis, that also got you know uh, translated to the audience, that people knew that what is happening on Impact Wrestling, that people knew that they are knowing of their programming and what is happening on Impact Wrestling. More people got interested in Impact Wrestling. But uh, probably what Impact Wrestling thought of that, how much uh, benefit would it give them, and what benefit would AW also uh, derive of them, because Impact Wrestling has been in existence for how many years, and they have uh, an existence worldwide with regards to TV and stuff like that. So both the companies wanted some benefit with regards to viewership, compelling programming. But in the latter half, I could say that um, it it kind of fizzled out, I guess. If I would say uh, in on Impact Wrestling programming, that after Kenny Omega left and dropped the title, I I can speak for myself. I also lost uh, my interest on watching the programming. I keep in touch, with all sorts from social media, but I, lost my interest from watching Impact Wrestling. And I know what is, happening, but it sort of fizzled out. And we also see, Christian Cage appearing on Impact Wrestling, AW, when he was Impact World Champion, but there was little to no recognition of him being Impact World Champion. It wasn't said enough on AW television. So I don't know, but I hope that what they both the companies wanted, they got somewhat, but uh, we as fans probably expected uh, somewhat of a bigger impact, but that didn't come to fruition. That could also be, you know, uh, given to the things with regards to fans uh, being there and Impact Wrestling, uh, but you know, Impact Wrestling is rebuilding at this point, and hopefully in the future they would be in a much better place. And I guess right now they are uh, working with the NWA.
Like, if you think about it, I think Impact benefited a lot with this partnership. With Kenny being crowned their champion, like I said, their business plus the buzz kind of went up. Like, it was Impact was going to a upper level since the pandemic, the like last 2020 or something. Like, their scale was going up and up, their buzz was also growing. You get in Kenny Omega as your world champion, and that actually was a little peak for them. And at the end of the day, they benefited a lot. AEW in return didn't get much, I guess.
Uh, you know, we can talk about that what both the companies got or what they didn't. And you were saying that Impact Wrestling got buzz. Absolutely, I would agree. But they would have wanted a lot more, based upon more fans coming in to watch the shows, and more people watching their streams, watching their product on Twitch, and now they are doing YouTube. And they would have expected that more merchandise sales. So did they got that more pay-per-view buys? So you know did they got what they expected? We don't know at this point. But yes, they benefited a lot. I would absolutely agree. And did AEW also got exposure from Impact Wrestling because of uh, Impact Wrestling being broadcasted worldwide, based on, because there is a narrative that Impact Wrestling are in a shitty TV deal in the United States. That is absolutely agreed. They have invested wholly in on Access TV. That is their channel, I guess. But they also have uh, existence in other countries. In India, on Sony, and on Eurosports as well, and in other countries as well, in UK, in Canada. Canada is their home base of Anthem Sports Entertainment, and other countries as well. So they are broadcasting there. So if an AEW World Champion appears on their television, and he is, you can say, featured in two segments on their TV programming, so that also gives exposure to AEW, that someone is watching Impact Wrestling and he sees someone. I'm not saying that it is a professional wrestling fan. It could be a casual fan from the masses. He watches Impact Wrestling and he gets, uh, he sees Kenny Omega wearing the AW World Championship and Impact Wrestling World Championship. So he gets intrigued, and he, gets to check out AEW and what is AEW and stuff like that. So that also benefits AEW. So this is not a one-way street. Yes, the narrative is that there was only Impact Wrestling who got benefited, but that is not the case. If you are in a business, both parties benefit. This is not a charity. It was a business deal. Both parties benefited.
But
How much, we don't know.
yeah, but at the end of the day, we actually, as fans, wanted a partnership with New Japan and AEW. That was the money get for Tony Khan at that time, and he did achieve it as the fans started coming
Yes.
back. And if you look at it, the New Japan AEW partnership has been solid. I'm talking about in
Hmm.
AEW standards. I think AEW got in a lot of buzz when the New Japan talent started showing up on their television.
Yes. Agreed. Uh, in the Pro Wrestling Network, agreed. And in the long run, you know, how much it translates to the casual viewers and the masses, we will have to see. But absolutely agreed with regards to compelling matches, great wrestling matches. Agreed. The New Japan partnership has been solid. I would agree with you, and I guess uh, Kazuchika Okada is coming to the United States near about Full Gear, so we could possibly see him on AW television in
Bro,
November.
just I want to say that don't get surprised if you hear that coin flip on TNT.
I would not be surprised, and I had you know predicted, or I wished, a fantasy booked, or I wished that probably in the future a match happens between CM Punk and Kazuchika Okada. So if it is in the stars, it would probably happen. Let's see where and when.
And another thing about if you want to compare both partnership, the partnership with Impact and the New Japan partnership, if you just look at, if you see both rosters, what is the most intriguing to you? What roster has the big name value?
Uh, you know, if we, as pro wrestling fans, we analyze it, that in the pro wrestling communities, absolutely, we would say New Japan has the name values, and they have the guys who can go bell to bell, amazing stuff, and which would be compelling programming for the American viewers as well, if casual viewers watch such stuff. But if we uh, throw in Impact Wrestling's guys, if they have been on television, and they are, and uh, they have been on television throughout the world, so they could have a much more, you can say, acceptance probably with regards to the casual viewers throughout the world. And I am not saying anything that we have to compare. It would be very difficult, but I would say both the partnerships should benefit them, and that is why Tony Khan probably did, and probably he is benefiting from New Japan's partnership, and he is also able to get New Japan guys here, you know because New Japan also has here, I mean United States, New Japan also has you know New Japan strong running in the United States. And Tony Khan also once said to, I guess, either CM Punk or Bryan or Bryan Danielson that during the contract negotiations that either of one of them wanted to work with New Japan. So he said to them, either one of them, that you want to work with New Japan, I would bring New Japan here. So their guys would come here and they would wrestle. I would, he would have, he has the financial means to do that. And, you know, it has been very beneficial for the guys and for the guys like Punk, Danielson, and other people. And so it makes for a good working atmosphere, and it keeps the roster happy, and it makes for compelling programming as well, and which is, I guess, not seen before on such a big worldwide stage. So that is also great with regards to AEW. And you know it's it's great, and we are looking forward to much more out of this New Japan partnership.
There you go, man. There you go. That's regarding the partnership with Impact in AEW. Let's quickly get into the review stuff. So they kicked off Rampage here with Bryan Danielson versus Eric Kingston. This is a world title eliminator match, and this match, like how they built it up since last week with the promos and stuff, it has been good. Like Danielson was actually poking at Kingston, like he wanted to motivate Kingston, and he really got a motivated Kingston in this match. This match was really good, hard hitting. What did you think about it?
Yes, you know, I thought that was very competitive and entertaining. This was a brilliant match in my opinion. And the fans in attendance were also 50-50. So there wasn't any, you could say, a fan favorite or something like that. And as you just pointed out, the promos which happened, Danielson commented on the physique of Kingston,
It doesn't
but
work
in a
hard, he said.
very, yes, outside the ring, in a very subtle way, he said. And Kingston, it was said by the commentators that he has gotten a shot at the world title in the past, but he didn't snatch the victory then. So there's that. And Kingston, in this match, uh, you know, which is his signature all Japan brawling style, he showcased that. And Daniel Bryan, he showcased his submission, his technical prowess in the match. And Kingston, he fucking, with the chops and fucking bruised Bryan's chest. It was fucking red. And commentators also
Was
said
it
that,
was it
I
red
guess,
or purple?
yes.
I don't even know at that point.
Yes, seriously. And you know now we are seeing in AW it is a role reversal. I guess it since AW, uh, you know, for Bryan Danielson, that now he takes the role of a veteran, and the other guy is the underdog. So now Kingston was the underdog in this match. And other than that, you know, Kingston focused his attack on the chest and the neck of Bryan. And Bryan, at one point, he was targeting the left arm. Yes, the left arm. The right arm was taped, or he attacked the left arm, and then at in the ending moments of the match, he wanted to end it with the label lock. Then he went for the right one, which was heavily taped. He tried for it, but he couldn't get that. And at the end, Bryan got uh, the victory via the triangle choke. And point to be noted is that Kingston, didn't tap out; he passed out, and he was also doing the middle finger while he passed out. Yeah. So that speaks to his, toughness and his rebellion, his persona. So he didn't get buried at all. Brilliant match. Full marks to everybody. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Seeing how Danielson loves, the aspect, the art of wrestling, I think it was his idea. I think, just imagine both Kingston and Danielson having conversation. Danielson may be like, "Hey, Kingston, you like all Japan wrestling, right? Let's have a King's Road step match." And they had it here. Like, Kingston actually legit destroyed Danielson's chest. And the King's Road match, the All Japan style match, the influence was written all over it. Like, he was doing the chops. He was, at one point did this. What I don't know what this submission is called. I think it's a shout out to Kawada or something like that. There was one point he was doing a bunch of backdrop drivers. The match overall was really
Mm-hmm.
good, and like you pointed out, the way they ended this match, like Kingston was actually protected, like because he didn't tap out, he just passed on.
Yes.
There, but I want to bring up this spot here. Like, both men were fighting to the outside. So here is where Kingston hit one of those backdrop drivers. So referee was doing the counts, and Danielson barely made the count. But the thing was, during the ninth count, he almost collapsed. That was really good.
Mm. Agreed. That is, Brian's mind, his psychology, that how to, keep the fans on, on edge, on their toes, so to speak, on in the moment. Uh, it is just brilliant stuff. You know, as Enzo says, you can't teach that. It just comes to you as go by uh, through the ring, stuff as you wrestle throughout the years, and you get the wisdom and of the ring, and you also go through the old tapes of wrestling, and you get through the minds of the other legends who you are sharing the locker room with. That is how you become a living legend, and Bryan Danielson is one. Nobody can dispute that. That is undisputed.
Interesting. And by the year is done, he's definitely making the top 10 list of best wrestlers for this year.
Absolutely, absolutely, no doubt.
But the as the match was done, a really good match, Danielson was celebrating. So Danielson post match decided to do the handshake with Kingston as a sign of respect. But Kingston, he walked out and just left the ring. But as we move on, there was a interview following this match with CM Punk. Shivani and Punk were backstage. Shivani was interviewing Punk here, was talking about Punk's record, like he's 5-0 right now in AEW. But even before Punk even speaks, utters a word, we see some commotion in the background. Like we could see here Eddie Kingston just shouting and cursing. He just mad at what happened. Like he didn't appreciate, losing to Bryan Danielson in this important match here. So he then decided to go face to face with Punk, and he just slapped the mic out of Shivani's hand and went face to face with Punk. They were having a little argument, and before anything would happen, we see some wrestlers and officials coming out to separate the two. So Punk said that he is actually disappointed with Eddie Kingston, and there you go. That's how this segment ended. Please tell me they are doing this at Full Gear.
I would want that. But is there a place on that card? Is there a place left? And there are, I guess, only 2 weeks left, if I'm not wrong.
Indeed.
So they won't be able to, I guess, build that. These are two guys who are gifted on the microphone. So give them the time, and I guess they would create magic. It
Like,
is dollar signs.
I don't think time is a big worry for these two guys. Just have these two guys with two microphones going face to face on a dynamite. It's a done deal.
Mm. I would agree. But probably with the card that they have, if they have already booked that and stuff like that, I guess it would be on Full Gear. Probably it seems that way. Probably Punk versus Wardlow is not the plan
That
at this
actually needs
point.
a build. Punk versus Wardlow.
Yes.
You can book Punk versus Kingston very easily at this point.
That is why they have done this. And it was a very smooth transition from Bryan and to Punk with regards to Eddie Kingston. I guess they can, but getting the fans invested with just I do not want there is untapped potential in the feud. You have two incredibly talented guys on the microphone. Just use that to the fullest extent possible. Yes, you have 2 weeks. You have Rampage, you have Dynamite. Given. Just use that. Use that to build it, and build it so much that we have no alternative but to watch that match. And there are many people who are complaining. Probably I am a biased Punk fan, so I am not complaining as much, but Punk's run in AEW has been very underwhelming. That but it can also be given to the said fact that he has been out of the ring for 7 years. He has to get in the groove. I have said it in the previous reviews as well.
Wait.
That he has to.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is your words, right? Or you're quoting someone?
No, this is my words.
So
I'm just saying that
you agree on the part that
yes,
Punk's run has been a little underwhelming.
Little underwhelming, yes, agreed. But I'm saying that the reason could be that why have they booked him in such a way? Because that he has been 7 years out. Then they are getting him in the groove. I have said that in the previous reviews as well, that Punk has to get in the groove. It is a it is very cliche for these wrestlers. They have said it that it is a habit. Their body gets in the movement of wrestling, and then they get better. Wrestling week in week out, you are in top shape and you are in top movement. But this is a guy who has been out for 7 years. He has to get in the groove. He is not wrestling like Staus or FTR or other people on dark elevation, stuff like that. No, he only gets this time to wrestle. So he has to get in the groove. If someone had pushed him straight into the main event scene, for example, straight up Kenny Omega, you know and you have had seen CM Punk, breathing heavily outside the ring. If you had seen, CM Punk, you know, not being the quote unquote best in the world with his performances, and we have seen him, the match that he had with Darby Allin. I didn't like the match very much, but it was, a part of his return. He is getting good. He's getting good with the matches that he is having. He's getting better as the matches are going by. So have push him to the better feuds when he is, ready. And I guess it was a pretty intelligent decision in my opinion. Yes, the experts, the analysts can say that you should have put him straight into a meaningful feud so as to, keep the fans who had come in to watch, the lapsed fans and stuff like that. But, they would have gone away so fast. They would have, uh, you know, developed a very negative mindset towards CM Punk, that fuck, this guy is not what he used to be. I'm not a fan anymore. But you know we are rebuilding CM Punk at this point, and he is getting better as the matches are going by, in my opinion. I don't know what you think.
I'm actually enjoying Punk's run so far. Like I get
I'm
that,
enjoying as well.
like get the fact that you need to put him in more important matches. Like why is he going against someone like Bobby Fish, or even what's the other guy, Daniel Garcia? These are not well-known guys in that roster. Why is he going about 10 to 15 minutes with these guys? I agree with you that they are actually kind of rebuilding Punk with these matches. So you could basically, it is a slow burn. When he actually gets into the big matches and big feuds, then then it will be worth it down the line.
Hmm. Yes, and it is. We are on the brink now. It seems, because now they have pushed Eddie Kingston on him, and Eddie Kingston is a pretty good, talent, pretty, pretty over with the crowd, and he is gifted on the microphone as well. So if AEW is, wanting to invest in this feud, so give us the promos, give us the animosity, then we can see Punk just ascending to another level after Punk versus Kingston.
This is we are talking about Punk versus Kingston. But my question to you is, what is the biggest dream match for Punk right now in AEW? I'm giving you two options. Is it against Hook, or is it against Colt Cabana?
uh, I guess I don't know, man.
Come on, give me one, man. Give me one.
It would be Cold Cabana, but it won't be happening. Uh, because of the stuff that happened. But the thing is that they have had such a rich history. We have seen the 2011, 2012 CM Punk documentary. They were such good friends. They had such great matches. So if it ever happens in the distant future, it would be such a match. I would be very much looking forward to watching that match on AEW television, on worldwide television. So, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, because he has to go through Hook first. But moving on,
Agreed.
we have to talk about Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. This is their second match ever. But before I get into this match, let's go back to this World Title Eliminator situation. Danielson is now going into the finals, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
I was actually about this Kingston Danielson match. There was a little part of me that kind of predicted that Kingston can win this match, and it would make sense. You know why? Because on the other bracket, John Moxley is a done deal for now, making the finals. I would have loved the situation if you had gotten Danielson. Sorry, Moxley versus Kingston at the finals,
Hmm. Yes.
because
It
the
would
way
have
they
been.
are, like, the new character development with Moxley is really intriguing.
Hmm. Yes. You know, I do not even know that what is happening, with him, that it is real or it is fake. What is happening, I don't know. So it makes for compelling television. So, for instance, on Dynamite, I thought that his character has become somewhat intriguing, and there is no, you can say, it is very difficult to see that what is real and what is real. For instance, we saw on Dynamite that there was a match with 10 of the Dark Order, and how John Moxley won that match. That looked pretty brutal first, and secondly, it uh, felt like uh, I don't know. It felt to me like 10 got busted open the hard way. I don't know, but the matches and the demeanor, as you just pointed out, of John Moxley is intriguing, is compelling television, and right now we the fans probably are not right now noticing it as much as they should, but they are going through something. Let's see what happens. Probably it is all for the Bryan and Moxley match. So let's see what happens. Uh, it could be somewhat very brutal,
Yeah,
and uh,
and,
yes, please.
that's a great opportunity to Mox to go full blown here.
Hmm. Yes, and right now we haven't seen and not seeing also Moxley, being featured uh, center stage on AEW television. So we can also, uh, you can say, uh, attach the his behavior to the frustrations, real life frustrations. he has, that he now doesn't give a fuck. That we only see his matches and his big time matches in the independent promotions, that where he drops by and he just fucking does his thing and he goes home and he takes care of his wife and kid. And AW, he is right now doesn't he ain't booked center stage for the past few weeks or months, as we have seen CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole coming to the fold. John Moxley has taken a backseat, and fans giving less fucks about him.
But the direction they're heading towards, it is pretty intriguing, and we have to wait and see. We are talking about Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. Like I said, this is their second encounter. I don't remember who won their first match. Sorry, who won their first encounter. Was it Dante
First,
or Sydal?
I they said that this is their third because first match between the two happened on AW Dark.
Oh,
That is why after the second one happened, I guess, on Dynamite. So on Dynamite, the story was that their match was so amazing on Dark that they had to fill the card and stuff like that. Then they showed it on Dynamite, and that was, I guess, the first match where people uh, locked eyes with Dante Martin.
and
So I guess Matt Saddle would have won because he's the veteran.
but here,
I guess both the match.
yeah.
Yes.
So this was a really good match. There was some story to, like, they have brought in this element of Leo Rush. He wants to be, he could say, a mentor for Dante Martin here. So that is, you could say, kind of up in the air. Dante is not actually digging Leo Rush's, advices and whatever you want, you want to bring in this situation. And at one point, I think even there was, I think Matt Sydal was actually the mentor of Dante Martin, and then we see the addition of Leo Rush. That's the story. So this match here was really good. I always say that Matt Sydal is criminally underrated. Like, he was really good at the technical aspect here. Like, Dante Martin was going full blown as a high flyer, did some great spots in this match. Overall, it was really fun. What did you think about it?
Yes, agreed. It was a very entertaining match, and Dante was amazing with his athleticism. And you know, this time with Leo Rush, he got the W, the win. And I guess at the start of the bout, I guess mistakenly, Excalibur said that this is the first match of Dante Martin with Leo Rush. I guess that is not the case. First match was with Malachi Black, if I'm not wrong.
Who, Dante?
Yes.
Uh, yeah, Dante did face
And
Malachi.
yes, and Leo Rush was in his corner, and Dante lost.
Yeah.
But yes, so this time he got the victory. So you know, there's that. Excalibur said that this was the first time that Leo Rush was in his corner. Mistakes happen, and other than that, as you just pointed out, that Dante seemed conflicted with Leo Rush's support, his partnership, his intentions, but he's willing to have a go at this point. And you know, uh, Dante could also be more, you can say, inclined to believe and more inclined to give a go to this partnership with Leo Rush, uh, because of this point isn't brought about as much because it is very, I guess it is real life and it is very sensitive, because he also wears the BLM band on his arm, Black Lives Matter. So we are not going into the legitimacy of BLM, that is it a organization or is it a movement, but that could also play a part in the storytelling. That also creates a you know mindset that he is more tending to believe Leo Rush, because he is a firm believer in the movement of BLM.
That could be, but I think it is all leading towards Darius Martin coming back, and that's about it. And we see somewhere
Yes,
down the line Leo Rush, having matches with what do you call them? Top flight.
tough light.
There you go.
Hopefully.
So, like I said, this match here with Sydal and Martin was really good. Nothing much to add because I was kind of getting annoyed with the commentary team. Like Jericho and who's the other guy? Ricky Starks are trying to build up something. They are trying to have a feud of their own on commentary since last week, I guess.
Mm.
So
I
that
guess
kind
it's
of took
just
me away.
having fun. Uh, mm,
That kind of took me away from the match, but it was somewhat entertaining, somewhat annoying. That's what you get with Jericho on commentary. But let's get into the finish. Like Dante Martin won with a moonsault press, and there you go. And nothing much to add on this match.
yes. And Leo Rush took the credit, hopefully.
Yeah, but shall we quickly wrap things up with the main event?
Yes.
So this is Doctor Britt Baker, DMD. So she's facing Abadon, and this is a trick or treat match. So the thing is, the trick here is that this is a no DQ match, and the treat is that if Abadon wins, she gets a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. So they did their thing with the main event bit of Rampage. Mark Henry interviews both Abadon and Baker here. So we got some words from Abadon. At least Mark Henry tried to, but nothing much. Abadon just drooled blood, and Henry got what she wanted. Got what he wanted from Abadon, and then he shifted his focus to Baker. Baker, tried to build up the rest of the match by herself. And then when we get to the part where Henry says it's time for the main event, Abadon is basically missing for the split screen. I would see a concerned look on the doctor. So we get to the match. This went for a while, and I don't know. I basically didn't like it. I guess they tried to work hard, but this match was not meant to be on television, I guess. And before
Mhm.
I get your thoughts. God bless Aberdeen for trying with this gimmick. It at the end of the day, it is actually an intriguing gimmick, but when she starts wrestling, it's a different opinion altogether. Thoughts on this
Mm.
match and the whole situation here?
Uh, you know, you talked about her Abadon's wrestling. Yes, it is. Uh, she is still, wrestling on dark elevation, and uh, getting the reps in, getting good. Mm, We would only, hopefully, uh, she would get it better as the weeks go by, and she, competes in matches. But as far as Abadon's presentation on television, uh, I guess I have said it sometime in the distant past when Abadon uh, appeared on television. I said that I guess, AEW could have invested more in Abadon's entrance. That is, her character, I guess, deserves that, in my opinion. If you don't want to do it for dark elevation, but the thing is that if you don't do it for the television, it waters down her persona. It was just her entrance looked crap. You look to her, you look at her persona, her look, but the entrance doesn't do justice to it. So immediately you are invested out of that. And she did the hardcore stuff. She was great, and she was good. And also Britt Baker sold her offense. uh, but you know, the table didn't break. And you know the I guess things got better, things got good after the thumbtacks came into play, in my opinion. And ending moments of the match were great. Ending moments of the match were amazing for this bout. The counter to the lockjaw with the biting of the fingers, and you know, other than that, it was a good showcase for Abadon. But if you are willing to uh, get her in storylines or in feuds in the future, in the distant future, then invest on her entrance, or think of her in the entrance, cause it it because except that it would look shitty. It would look shitty. And it uh, overall the match was it was decent. It was good. And I saw some of the comments on YouTube for this match specifically. uh, People were very over for Abadon. I'm not as much right now, but yes, her character is compelling. But given that the management invests in that, and something comes about of that.
Yeah, like I said, she's really working hard on the gimmick. She works hard in her matches. We will give her that compliment, but it is not working as of now. It works
Hmm.
in some departments, but when you get into the actual wrestling stuff, it doesn't actually work.
Mhm. It is more of the character and less of the sports and wrestling and stuff like that. And that could also be one of the factors that which you are saying that the wrestling aspect needs some polishing. So the fact is that also I guess Taz or Jericho pointed out that she has had many victories in the past, but she is having only 4 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute matches. So how the fuck will she get good in the wrestling uh, department? She could do shit at the dojo, and probably uh, that could only be the case. And you need to invest with regards to the entrance, and other than that, uh, probably some analyst said that uh, someone also suggested to her, or to also trim down because of the TV presence. That is, they say to the talents to look presentable, so they have to trim down. So she might have worked on that as well.
She has, I think, in the last couple of months.
Mm, yes.
But
And it is not specific to AEW only. It is uh, a thing that is prevalent in all the promotions. WWE is also WWE does it as well, and they did it. I guess someone said, some analyst, I guess from the K100 podcast, he told that they did it with Tony Storm. Tony Storm debuted on SmackDown on Fox, and then they told her to trim down 14 to 15 pounds. They didn't come to the realization that she uh, needs to trim down before her SmackDown debut. So
wait, someone
there's
told
that.
Tony Storm to trim down.
Yes, that is why she is not on television after her debut.
Whoever said that is a fucking idiot.
Well, the management has a certain mindset, and
Bro, I don't know, man. That is WWE management are pretty weird people, if you tell me.
it is just the case that they have a certain vision or a certain mindset then of you can say the employer has a certain mindset, has a certain vision, then you have to match that. If you can't, then probably you won't be booked on main roster.
God knows, man. But let's talk about the highlights quickly. Like, this was a short enough match, thankfully. Like, this is no DQ. We saw steel chair being introduced. We saw thumbtacks eventually. By the way, Rebel and Jamie Hater were dressed as quote unquote fake zombies, as pointed out by Chris Jericho. They are not real zombies. So, like I said, chairs, thumbtacks. So there was this table spot they tried to do. So what happened was, I think it was Britt Baker. She tried for a neck breaker on the table. The table didn't break. Britt Baker then tried for a second attempt for a table spot with a suplex. The table didn't break because the table decided that I am the table. So it's one of those nights here in AEW Rampage. So we get to the thumbtack spot. The crowd is really, getting louder for those, hardcore, gory moments. Like Britt Baker is the one who took the thumbtack spot here continuously. So there was this one spot with the steel chair. Like Baker wrapped the chair around Abadon's neck and did a curb stomp, which actually looked sick. And Abadon decided to no sell it and got up and was on the offense again. So there was this spot with the thumbtacks again. Abadon's mouth was filled up with thumbtacks and a bunch of super kicks. So Baker was a little hesitant on finishing off the match with the lockjaw, because it's a, at the end of the day you're putting your mouth in a zombie's mouth, so that is a bit risky. So Abadon decided to bite the hand of Baker. So there was some shenanigans with Rebel and Jamie Hayter getting involved. So basically, Baker stole the victory with a roll up, I guess.
Yes.
That's
On the thumbtacks.
that's pretty much it. Baker wins. And this was a great decision. Imagine if Baker lost it. That would have been something. But anyways, man, you were pointing out
there were
something.
many YouTube comment. There were many YouTube comments which said the same. That Abadon should have won. And but this was not for the championship, so they could have gotten the championship match.
But right now, Britt Baker shouldn't be losing because she is the champion in AEW.
Yes.
There you go, man. That was the Rampage. Like, excluding this Baker Abadon thing, the rest of the show was really good.
Yes.
So Abby, before we leave, where can you guys find you?
Yes, you can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at Abimaniac, and you can also connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
And you can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamHubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. You catch this review on Anchor and Spotify as well. And you were watching the AEW Rampage review right here in Slamhub Wrestling. And we'll see you guys next time.